class. This week we're going to learn how to create a payment calculator and an amortization schedule in Excel. We're going to be using Excel 2010. You might think, why do we need to know how to create a payment schedule and an amortization schedule? Well, when you are doing any type of real estate transaction, you need to be familiar with amortization schedules. They can give you a lot of valuable information, like how much of your monthly payment is applied to the principal and how much of the monthly payment will be applied to interest. How much is the balance of your loan after each payment is made? How much do you pay in interest over the total life of the loan? And other information you can glean from the amortization schedule. And our payment calculator, we're going to calculate how much our monthly payment will be based on the amount of our loan and the interest rate. We're also going to see how much would we save if we could afford to finance our home for 15 years instead of the traditional 30 years. So you can see how valuable being able to use Excel to create the payment calculator and an amortization schedule can be. Let's get started. We're going to create our loan payment calculator. We could put item here because we will use this particular calculator to calculate our mortgage monthly payments, but we might want to use it later for purchasing a car. So we'll put the item, the date, the price, the down payment, and then of course the price minus the down payment will be our loan amount, our rate. We'll be able to change this rate to see how it will affect our monthly payments, the years. We'll also be able to change the years to see how it will affect our monthly payments. Then we'll see what our monthly payment will be, our total interest, and our total cost. So our item is a home, and our date. Now we could just type today's date here, but we can also use a function that when we open up this loan payment calculator tomorrow or next week, it will have the current date. So let's do that. Let's use the function. See this where it says auto sum. We'll click the little drop down arrow and click on more functions. And I like to use the now function. Now if yours isn't showing up right here, just type in now in your search function, because the now function returns the current date and time formatted, and you just click OK here. So we have our date and time stamped. Now the price of a home, an average home in our area, I'm in South Alabama, is really very low right now. $169,000 is the average home loan amount. And on your down payment, you usually have to have about 10%, but ideally you want 20% down at least for your home, to purchase your home. So let's use a formula to see how much our down payment should be. We always start with the equal sign. See right here in my formula bar, I type equal, and then I like to use the point method. I'm just, instead of typing in the price or the cell of the price, I click on that price and see how it puts that cell reference here, B4. And then I say time, which is the asterisk in the Excel, and then 20%. And click my arrow, my check. Okay, so we need a down payment of $33,800 to have 20% down. And of course our loan amount will be our price minus our down payment. So again, start with your equal sign, use your point and click method, the price, then type your minus, and then click your down payment and your check box. And so we're going to finance $135,200. Now, interest rates right now are really low. In January of 2013, interest rates are historically low at 3.75% oh boy, you need to lock in. If you're ready to buy a home, you need to lock in that fixed interest rate. You know, I remember, don't laugh, I remember in the 80s when interest rates were even 18 or 19%. Oh, that makes a huge difference in your monthly payment and a huge difference in the total amount you pay for your home over the lifetime of the loan. So our rate is 3.75%. And years, let's start with 30, but we're going to see after we complete our calculator how much we could save if we financed this loan for 15 years. And then we're going to calculate our monthly payments. Okay, we're ready to calculate our monthly payment. And we want a monthly payment that we can afford. Dave Ramsey, I like to listen to him. He's a financial expert. He says that your monthly payment should not be any more than 1/4 of your take-home pay. And that monthly payment would include your taxes and your insurance. So we want a monthly payment that we can afford. We're going to use our payment function to determine what our monthly payment would be on this loan amount of $135,200. So again, let's start. We're in our formula bar. We're going to start with the equal sign, and we're going to use the payment function. And when I put my opening parentheses, this little tooltip shows me the general layout of the payment function. I'm going to first put my rate. Now, don't type the rate in because this rate may change. Okay, well, we want to be able to reuse this calculator. So we use the point method again and click on the rate. And then we want to say this rate divided by 12 because we're going to make monthly interest rate divided by the 12 months if a year that we make payments. And then we put a comma between our arguments. Our next argument, NPER, this is the number of payments, and we're going to say 12 because it was 12 months in a year, time against the asterisk, and years. Now don't type in the years because this could change, so point and click on that cell, comma. Okay, our next argument is going to be our loan amount. Again, don't type in the loan amount, but point and click on that cell so that we can reuse this chart if that loan amount changes. Now you don't have to put the closing parentheses, just click your check, your enter. So you see it put a negative $626.13. That's how much our monthly payment will be. And to keep that from being a negative in the red, let's put a minus right there before our payment function. Okay, so our payment will be our monthly payment for 30 years fixed at 3.75% will be $626.13. Now, let's calculate what would be the total interest on for the life of the loan. Okay, let's calculate our total interest. Again, here in the formula bar, always starting your formulas with the equal sign. 12, because there's 12 months in a year, times our years. The time is the asterisk. Click on the cell for the years, which would be E3, times our years, times the monthly payment, minus your loan amount. And that should give us the total interest that we'll pay over the life of this loan. It's kind of when you look at it, you think, can that possibly be right, even with interest as low as it is? Could we possibly pay $90,000 in interest over the life of the loan? Yes, we can. And we're going to see how much we can save when we change that to 15 years. But right now, let's calculate the total cost. So the total cost we'll again start with the equal sign. The total cost will be the price of your home plus your plus sign, your total interest. So how much will you pay for your $169,000 home? You will actually pay $259,207.62 over 30 years. Not bad. But how much would you save if we changed this to 15 years? But can you afford your monthly payments? That's the question you have to look at. You're going to know you're going to want to save that much money, but will you be able to afford your monthly payments? So let's play with this just a second. How much would we save if we financed our home for 15 years and we just plug in the 15 instead of 30? Now look, our total interest dropped from $90,000 to $41,000, and the total cost over the loan has dropped to from $259,000 to $210,000, and so we've not quite $50,000, but about $48,000 or so we will save over the life of the loan if we can afford the monthly payments. So you see how our monthly payments have gone up to $983.20 a month. So this little calculator can help you see how much you can afford and what would happen. Let's say what would happen if interest did go up a little. Let's say it went up to 5.75%, or maybe for some reason you're not able to lock in at that lower rate. How much will this affect your monthly payments? You see, a good deal every time it goes up. It will affect your monthly payments, your total interest, and how much you'll pay over the total cost of the loan. Okay, let's quickly create our amortization schedule. You want to start your little table with your year, your beginning balance, ending balance, paid on principal, and interest. Now we want our years to go through the 15, but we're not going to type in every year. We're going to type in 1 and 2, so Excel will know how we want to increment our numbers, and then select those first two numbers. Get on our fill handle and drag down, see the number, the little 2 tip, until it says 15. Okay. Didn't go quite far enough. Let's go a little bit further. There, 15. Okay, let's quickly create our amortization schedule. You want to start your little table with your year, your beginning balance, ending balance, paid on principal, and interest. Now we want our years to go through the 15, but we're not going to type in every year. We're going to type in 1 and 2, so Excel will know how we want to increment our numbers, and then select those first two numbers. Get on our fill handle and drag down, see the number, the little 2 tip, until it says 15. Okay. Didn't go quite far enough. Let's go a little bit further. There, 15. Okay, now we're going to calculate the paid on principal. How much do we pay on the principal? And this is easy. I know you're glad after that last formula. Okay, paid on principal. Promise you, this one's easy. Okay, with J3 selected, type your equal sign and just click on your beginning balance, type your minus, and click on your ending balance. And this is the amount, click your check, this is the amount that was paid on the principal. That was easy, wasn't it? Okay, now let's calculate how much interest was paid. All right, with K3 highlighted, let's type in our formula, equal, and we're going to use the if function. If, and open your parentheses, if H3, which is your beginning balance, is greater than 0. If we are greater than 0, if that is true, 12 times absolute E absolute 4, which is your monthly payment, minus J3, which is how much you paid on the principal. Okay? If that's not true, then it would be 0. Okay? Click your check. So the amount of interest paid, you see, was more than we paid on the principal in the first year, and that is not uncommon. Okay, we're ready to copy our formulas to fill our amortization table. So copy, watch my mouse pointer, make sure your mouse pointer looks like the block plus sign. Copy cells I3 to K3. Then again, watch the mouse pointer, get on your fill handle, see how the mouse pointer changed, and drag down through year 15. And release. Whoops, I didn't get quite far enough. I always do that. All right. Now don't worry that all of these are zeros right now and negative numbers, because that's because we haven't completed our beginning balance column. Also, don't worry if your numbers are not formatted exactly as mine are. You can format in a later step. Okay, now we're ready to calculate the beginning balance for each year. The beginning balance for each year is equal to the previous year's ending balance. So here our formula would be equal I3. We just click right there. And you see that's the same as the previous year's ending balance. And then we just copy that formula down through year 15. Didn't quite hold on to my mouse just like I should. There we go. Now you see your ending balance, you know we're on the right track because our ending balance is 0. Should be 0. Now we can further check ourselves. Let's sum the amount paid on principal because we should get the loan amount. Okay? So we can just say auto sum here, and we want to go through, that's okay because there's nothing in there. This is the 135,200, which is the same as we have here in B6. That's correct. Now let's sum our interest paid, and it should be the same amount as we have here in our loan payment calculator, $50,968.77, and it is. Great. Great job. Let me know if you have any questions. You've hung in here and done a great job. I appreciate you.